Mike's Daily Podcast.
Hey, it's a podcast, everybody, and I do this podcast show.
But my producer Mike was like,
Mike's Daily Podcast.
You can watch all the rides now on YouTube. I'm like, wow, you have a slightly effeminate voice. But you can watch all the rides on YouTube?
Am I supposed to sing at this part? How about I just do this? That was fun.
All right, Mike, take care. Thank you. Good to see you again.
What? Oh. I had a great time with that song. I hope you did too. It was not very much a song, but that's all right, because the show is called Mike's Daily Podcast.
Oh.
Yeah, how's the mic, Mike?
I saw the wonderful Steph and Nick today, and we used to go walking with our dogs up at Fairmont Ridge in Podcaster Valley.
Yeah.
And I had not seen their dogs. Their dogs are hanging in there. It's great. And they had Bella and Dixie. Wonderful dogs. Okay, one is sort of like a really small, what do they call it? Alaskan husky. And the other is sort of a husky mix of some sort, I think. Wonderful. So today I was quite busy with all kinds of things. And I realized that I said to myself, I don't care how busy I get, because I work for a company that right now is in the process of acquiring 2 radio stations, and I'm basically doing everything to get set for that. And I said, I don't care. I'm going to do a podcast no matter what. So there you go. That's why Mike is talking to you today. Despite everything in this world, I want to tell you there are expert tips for resilience. Number 1, develop a core set of beliefs that nothing can shake. That's interesting to me. Now, if you develop a core set of beliefs that no one can shake, does that mean you are set in your ways and stubborn? And maybe, what if your beliefs are all messed up? And I don't know, maybe your beliefs.
And here's today's podcast picture.
There's some pretty messed up beliefs. I don't even have to go into it. And the podcast picture today is of, let's see, I'm doing math in my head. That's what that sound is. 4 years ago, where was I? I was with the wonderful Basil the Boxer, and I think we were somewhere, he was digging somewhere. Or he was looking at a parade. Let's do one of those pictures. See it at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Yes, it'll definitely be one with Basil the Boxer. How about that? Somewhere in Podcaster Valley. See it now at MikesDailyPodcast.com. What I don't get is so I understand maybe beliefs that, I would say stick with the healthy beliefs, the beliefs that don't hurt other people, that are considerate, that are kind in nature. Go with something like that. I don't know about this. Develop a core set of beliefs that nothing can shake. Number 2, try to find meaning in whatever stressful or traumatic thing has happened. Finding meaning in the thing that just happened that is upsetting, is ruining your day, your week, your year, is not good. Find meaning in it. Is there something to learn from it? Okay. I'll give that a go. Try to maintain a positive outlook. Okay, that goes. That works. I can get behind that one. That's perfect. Trying to remain positive. Take cues from someone who is especially resilient. Someone that you've seen go through the depths of despair and emerge fine. There's a lot to gain from someone like that, to glean from. Don't run from things that scare you. Face them. Wow. Look them in the eye and go, death. You don't scare me, death. Go take a hike. Something like that, The things that scare you, Face them makes you stronger. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Be quick to reach out for support when things go haywire. Oh, that's a good one. That's something I learned recently when everything went haywire at my job. I needed, and people came to help me, and very kind. It was wonderful. So yes, it's a growing experience. Everyone learns from it, I think. Learn new things as often as you can. That's absolutely is true. They've done studies, found the brain is healthier. You have less chances of Alzheimer's and other things going wrong later if you are working your brain as much as you can, learning things. And then find an exercise regimen that you'll stick to. Today I said, I'm going to exercise by walking from my house down to the post office so that I can mail that ridiculously large check that I have to mail to the federal government and to the state of California, because it is tax day. And let me tell you, I did wait to the absolute last minute. In fact, I think I waited a little bit past the last minute. I don't know. I did the electronic filing, so I'm good there. I did that last week, so definitely within the timeline, the deadline. But I did not get the check in the mail until after. They were still open, but the last delivery did not go out, or had gone out. So that means my check will not be postmarked. Now, what does that mean? Where I e-filed already, so that's all good, but the payment is going to be a day late, basically postmarked a day late. What does that mean? I don't know. You'll find out here when I find out. Because I did all kinds of research online, could not find any answer to my question. Everything was taking me to tax websites and file your taxes with us and all this, and that's probably why Bing sucks. Because Bing gives you points as you go outside a cafe anyway with me, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth. Bing gives you points. And that's wonderful. But at the same time, not so good. Doesn't work so well. And finally, don't beat yourself up or dwell on the past. Live in the now. Don't worry so much about the future. The future's another world. But don't beat yourself up or dwell on the past. Living in the past. Don't be Uncle What's-His-Name from Napoleon Dynamite. Reliving his old days with the football. Trying to go back in time. Oh, there is one more. Recognize what makes you uniquely strong and own it. What's that one thing that makes you just super powerful? What is it that everybody goes, oh, you're really good at that? And own it. Own that thing because you do it so well. That voodoo that you do so well. All right, I'm crumpling up all that wonderful, helpful information. But that's okay because it's in the podcast and you can listen to this over and over and over again, which will mean a lot of plays and which will give me good statistics on my podcast and it'll make me happy. Oh, by the way, the podcast picture today is from a previous podcast I took of a thistle, a blooming thistle plant. That was so amazing, this picture. I still have it today on my desktop at work. And so that's good. And this was Fairmont Ridge where I saw Steph and Nick all the time. But they haven't been out there in a while because one of their dog's legs is starting to... he can't hold his weight up as much as he used to. I mean, he's still moving. He's still doing pretty good. And definitely not as bad as Basil had it towards the end. Basil couldn't even walk at the end. So I told them, hey, your dog's doing a lot better than Basil did. I think Basil had more of a dog sort of MS, whereas something like Nick and Steph's dog, Dixie, has something that's more akin to arthritis. But like I said, there was a boxer up the street. He's still alive. He's still doing pretty good. The back legs aren't working, though, anymore, just like the way with Basil that he had it. So we'll see. Oh, by the way, I told you about the stray cat Orson. There is a good chance that Orson is alive and well and is actually possibly at a shelter in Dublin right now. We're looking into the situation. I will keep you posted and perhaps even post a picture of Orson in an upcoming podcast. And that's all that's going on today. Hey, we're outside a cafe anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth. And hopefully that little bit of information I gave you was helpful. Hopefully. Next time, possibly, I will get to how to keep your New Year's resolutions, which is an article that I think I have attempted to read this every year around this time, and I always get sidetracked somehow. Plus, I have some COVID-19 practices that may remain after we get past this whole lockdown thing, which is, I walked past Don Jose's today in Podcastro Valley, giving them a little plug, so I better give them a slug too. Food's kind of pricey. I mean, not that pricey. I can't really give them a slug, but they're starting to have people inside, so there you go. Things are definitely opening up. And we'll get to more info about the fungi in your gut, the mycobiome, someday. We'll revisit that topic. But please chime in, tell me what you would like to cover on Mike's Daily Podcast. You can email me, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com, or call me at 336-MM Daily. That's 3 + 3 = 6. MM as in Mike Matthews, and Daily as in what this podcast has not been. Kind of has been. I got interrupted yesterday. So we'll try and, be better at it. But life gets kind of belligerent, gets in my face and pesters me, and I have to, go and deal with that whole thing. Look who's here, outside a cafe anyway. Hello, Mike Matthews, it's Chely Shoehart, gift shop supervisor. That's great that you paid your taxes. Yes, taxes have been paid. Did you pay your taxes? Yeah, okay. And look who else is here. Hello, Mike, this is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere, the engineer, Mike. It's important to pay the taxes so that our government stays in business. I guess that was kind of a laugh at the end, so maybe we can get behind what John Deere, the engineer, said. Or maybe not, because, he is named John Deere, which that's the name of some kind of big vehicle that does a lot of work in the farms. And he's an engineer. And engineers are always busy, and they got so much to do, and do they have even time to think about, I don't know, stuff that we've covered today, about resilience, about mycobiomes? Do they have time to think about that? They're so busy. Next show, it'll be the wonderful Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, and the Brewmaster. And thank you for listening. Tell all your friends. If you're not too busy, tell them all. If they're not too busy, maybe we're all too busy to listen to Mike's Daily Podcast, or not. But regardless, thank you for listening to episode 2242, 2242. The absolute ultimate answer to the ultimate question is 42. Thank you, Douglas Adams, for that. And thank you for listening to the very end of this podcast, which is now.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!